I got the job in Newport Beach, California. So I moved from hot and steamy South Carolina out to beautiful, every day is perfect Southern California to start my dream job. I was on top of the world and completely miserable. It was 1997. When you think of 1997, like the 90s are like invisible. But anyway, it was 1997. It was my first job. It was my dream job. I had studied accounting as my major for 4 hard years. And somewhere along that route, I learned that if I wanted to be with the best firm, the top firm, I had to like get all A's. Now, I was a very average student. I was a 3.0 student in high school. I did not apply myself. And when I learned about if I wanted to be at the top and at the best, it meant I could no longer just slide by. So I buckled down, and I basically got 4.0s from there on out. Not because I'm smart, but because when I put my eye on something, typically I'm going to get it. And so if that was the game I had to play, I played it, and I played it well, and I got the job. Not only did I get the job with the top firm in the world at the time, and that's debatable, but that's what people said about this firm. I got the job in Newport Beach, California. So I moved from hot and steamy South Carolina out to beautiful, every day is perfect Southern California to start my dream job. So as an accountant and in public accounting, I had to get my CPA. So it's funny, I didn't even know what a CPA was at one point in my even as I was taking accounting courses, but I found that out. See, I told you I wasn't smart. I found that out, and I studied very hard, and I even passed the CPA. So here I am. I'm I don't know, 23 years old. I had the dream job, everything I wanted. I passed the CPA. I mean, I am on the career track. I'm looking at partner, and I'm looking at what partners make, and I'm going, man, if I just put in my due time and my hard work, life is sweet. The one problem was, like I said, I was miserable. Accounting was not for me, not one bit. And so what I call this is my quarter life crisis. And, I had devoted, at least 6 years of my life towards this profession with this firm. And this firm, by the way, I'm not holding a suspense for what it to be, but this firm was Arthur Andersen. Again, at the time, it was the number one, or it's the largest professional services firm in the world. And it was known for really of being the top of the big six at the time. And so I'd made it, but I was miserable. I did not like accounting. I knew it was the wrong thing for me. So what was I going to do? Well, I worked for about another year, and I just decided I couldn't take it much longer. I was married. I was probably scaring my young bride at the time, going, "Hey, I'm your husband. I've got this great job, and I'm miserable, and I'm going to quit." And because quitting is not something that I have done or even do very often, but I was ready to throw in the towel, and I did. I don't know about you, but for me, I am most miserable when I have no vision. And I certainly did not have vision. For 6 years, I was going towards something I thought that I wanted. And I found out once I got there, that's not where I wanted to be. And so I quit. And what that resulted in, what that ended up doing for me was it allowed me to start my own business. And so I started what was a web firm at the time that slowly evolved into an agency where we did higher ed brand and marketing. And it was, it was a journey of over 20 years. I will tell you this, that the mistake that I made, if you will, if you can call it a mistake, the mistake that I made in choosing accounting was not a bad mistake. Yes, I spent a lot of times doing something I didn't love. That wasn't very fun. But what it did do, it taught me business. It taught me business fundamentals and accounting and finance, and that's a skill a lot of people don't have. And it was a skill that was highly transferable to my next thing that I was going to do, and that was to found and run an agency. When I sat down with my clients at Arthur Andersen, I was a 23-year-old kid, and I was sitting down with CFOs of publicly traded companies, and they gave me enormous amounts of opportunities. So I had great experience, great opportunities, and I did not let that go to waste. So in the agency world, when I started working with university presidents, college presidents, I wasn't intimidated. I felt like I could just have a normal conversation with them and learn what their problems were, and help them solve their problems. I never felt like I was selling. I was just serving and providing solutions, and oftentimes with great results for our clients. So that was great experience. So what a lot of people do, they in midlife, they could be you could be on top of the world, right? You could be like, hey, I've got it all. I've got a beautiful spouse. I have a great job. I've got great kids. Why am I miserable? And what I want to say is like, hey, that makes sense. It makes sense why you might be miserable. And for me, like I said before, is because you don't have vision for what the next chapter is. That could likely be the case. Now, there could be certainly some other things, but for me, when I start to even get on the edge of depression, or I'm just in a funk, I call it the midlife malaise. When I'm in that malaise and miserable, my wife will often remind me, is like, you know why? It's because you don't have vision right now. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't have a vision. I don't know where I'm going. And so we put 20, 30 years into our career. We get to this midlife thing and we go, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. But I also don't know what it is I want to do. That can cause some serious misery. Adam Grant has a great quote, and I'm not going to be able to say it verbatim, but he says, wouldn't you rather spend the next 2 years retooling for a new career, new opportunity, a new next chapter, than waste the next 20 not loving what you do? And that's exactly what I ran into when I was with Arthur Andersen. I mean, I knew quickly. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't, there's no way I'm going to do this for the next 20 years. And so I pulled that plug pretty quickly. But some of us don't. We go 20. Again, I was in my agencies for 22 years. And for me, it was time to be done. I probably realized that about 3 years too late. And then I had to have that vision for what that next chapter is going to be. That next chapter is what I am doing now. And I can tell you, I'm as excited as can be, and I have endless amounts of energy to put towards this. I really believe in what I do. And so that's the challenge for you. If you're watching this and you're saying, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm experiencing that malaise. I'm experiencing that, borderline depression, or maybe even depression, or like I can't do this for the next 20 years, whatever your career has been. I would say that is healthy. Use that. Leverage that. You need that discomfort to change. The key is to get the vision. What's the vision? And I guarantee that is the way out, because once you see your vision, that's where you got to go. That's how you get out of it. And I would just offer to this, if you read any of my content or watch any of these videos, you should know what I'm going to say next. Vision is rooted in purpose. It is what you're best at. It's what you're passionate about. It is what your strengths are. So if you can identify that purpose, get a clear vision, you can get out of the midlife malaise. And I'm so excited for you to go on that journey if you are willing to accept my challenge. And I can just say, I've done it once or twice myself, as an executive coach. I can help you out in that as well. So I hope you got something out of this, and I'd love to hear your comments below. And I hope to talk to you soon. Take care.